Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the First Chapter with me, Jolonda, and my co host, Olivia. If you notice, we're missing our third person, Carmen. She is in Wisconsin with her baby girl at her daughter's first homecoming weekend. So her whole family went out there to celebrate Bethany and just to enjoy themselves. So we're flying solo today. And since we're flying solo, we really didn't want to do our normal content. We're kind of farming new content to see what hits and what doesn't, so we kind of know how to grow our channel. So today, Olivia and I are, oh, she's so pretty. Look at how the sun is gleaming off of you. Okay,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
so
Look at
pretty.
my friend too.
Oh, thank you. So today, let me focus. We're going to talk about current events and whatever comes to mind. So I have no idea how this is going to go. She has no idea how this is going to go. We are just going to figure it out. And if you hadn't noticed, we are twinning.
On accident.
So, yay. So anyway, what you want to talk about?
I don't
What's current?
know. So I will say I have been on the side of TikTok, of course, of teachers, but I actually was watching one of the teachers who loves your favorite thing, Hello Kitty, and I want to say she's middle school or high school. And her room was so beautiful. She had Hello Kitty everything. She had the little Funko, Fun Pop, Funko. I don't know what they
Funko.
call it. The one with okay.
Funko Pop.
She had that. She had the curtains. She had the like little bows. She had everything. Plus, she had like chargers, small goods, lotions, all this stuff for her kids to use. But when she went on, she left for whatever reason. Um, come back and someone stole her Funko Pop, Hello Kitty. So, she was like, I just need it back. It meant something to me, so just bring it back. She even had the kids write like who they thought it was, gave them a chance. So in the end, she cleaned out her room, like took all of her stuff out, took out all the small goods, the lotions, the chargers that she left, anything that was like part of her like personality, she took out the room. Well, I went through some of the comments and I was just like, people talking about, well, why would you do that? This is why, you know, kids don't like school, teachers don't make it fun, da da da. And I was thinking, I was like, I looked at my room and how much I spent on my room this year, and I was like, I would be PO'd if they took anything. I get mad when they just mess stuff up, and they're third graders. I would be so mad. And I'm just like, people really don't understand that we have to do everything ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't get that extra help. We don't get $200. Here's $200. Go bling out your room. We don't get any of that. And even with that, like respect her property. Respect her. You don't even respect her or her property.
Mm-mm.
So that was one of the things that I saw. What do you think about that kind of
I
concept?
would have emptied the room out as well, and we can be in a very bland room.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. I'll bring my Hello Kitty notebook with me every day and write in it in between classes. That's all you get. Um, because and this is a generational thing. It has always been naughty kids since the dawn of time.
Mhm.
Um, but the majority were taught, at least when I was in school, that's all I can go by, and what I taught my children. You don't steal from your teachers and stuff. You really don't steal from your little classmates, but kids do that. But I'm going to hold you accountable. There is some accountability. You're stealing from your teacher and you don't expect them to say anything. So your teacher gives you the consequence to your action, which is no more pretty classroom. and you have some outside people looking in talking about, well, that's why school isn't fun anymore. Okay, well, if you have a problem with that, then you come and decorate my classroom with your money. You can decorate however you want, don't care. And we will be in there. And if stuff comes up missing or if stuff gets broken, since you don't care, it doesn't matter. Like, that's
Yeah.
money. That's my stuff.
Yeah.
Don't
And
touch
with
my
what's
stuff.
going on, I think like what you're saying is right. There has been naughty kids all through time, but I also think like kids now are feel entitled
That's the
to
perfect word.
everything,
Yep.
everything.
And you're not.
And I don't know where that comes from.
Because
I
everybody
know.
gets a trophy.
Yeah.
We are not the generation where everybody got a trophy. We're the
Uh,
generation where 3 people won.
yep.
First, second, third, first, second, runner up. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you learn a lesson that either this isn't for you or do better next time. And you need
Yeah.
to learn that lesson. Not everybody wins. There is no such thing as participation trophies.
Yeah.
Everybody don't win, and that's okay. So they're entitled to that. Well, I took it because I wanted it. Then tell your mama to go buy you one of your daddy. Don't take mine.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't. I don't get that. I think you need to fail.
I do too.
You need to fail to learn. You never learn
Because
if
we did
everything
all the
goes your way.
time.
Oh yeah, fail literally and figuratively. Remember, it was a track race. I was that eighth grade. It was eighth grade. So we were doing the relay. Now, of course, I'm on the track team because I said track race. We're doing the relay, and I'm the last leg, whatever you call
The
that.
anchor.
Thank you, Anchor. Thank you so much. So I got the baton, I'm running, and we winning. I, I'm a good sprinter. Long distance, no. Sprinting, I got you. So we winning, and I fell. I tripped.
Oh
I could
no.
have still gotten up and still won. So you need to understand, my coach was a male white man. So the other coach, one of the other teams was also a male white man. So all I heard was male white man voice. So my coach was saying, get up. So I'm getting up, but I heard someone else saying, stay down, like
Mm.
literally. So by the time it clicked, get up and still run, I think I might have finished like third or fourth. I didn't win.
Mm.
Um, and so it was okay. That was my lesson learned. Don't listen to outside voices when you fall. Get up and keep moving. And they actually laughed at it. You know, nobody was angry with me because it was an accident. Ended up with a strawberry on my leg. Oh, I got
Mm.
strawberry rings. Okay, I ended up with a strawberry on my leg, and even though I said I don't believe in participation trophies, he actually gave me a trophy at the award ceremony. You know, our school had a little award ceremony. I got a slide award. My mother still has it. So it was a little person sliding like they were sliding into first base or some home base, but he gave me a slide award because I would have won. So I thought that
Mhm.
was fine. But you need to learn from those
Yeah.
things. Now, if everyone would have still won a trophy, what would we have learned?
Nothing. And then the first and second and third aren't valuable then.
It is
If
not. It means
everybody
nothing.
gets something, it's not valuable.
Why should I work hard? Why should I work hard? I'm gonna get it anyway. That's
Yeah.
I think that's a problem. And from watching, I've always watched people who had what I aspire to have all my life. And you can tell the people who, even though they may be the trust fund babies and all that, whose parents instill work ethics in them and they still had to do work. Like, yeah, you're gonna get a trust fund, but if you don't do A, B, and C, you're not getting the money. And
Yeah,
I can
that's
tell
true.
that. Hold on one second. Yes. Okay, bye. Have a good day. Yeah, but I can cut this out. Yes, come on.
I'll pause it.
This ooh, my head.
So yeah, I completely agree with you when you think about participation and you think about what I was talking about with the teacher and her things, because like you said, like we've been talking about, entitlement of these children is so rampant. And so then their parents think they're entitled too. Um, it's so funny because I saw a situation and I was trying to do my teacher duty, and we'll just say people thought that they could, you know, insert their authority, even though their child is part of the school now and I'm on duty and I'm doing my job. So I was just like, you know what? Anytime something happens, if you want to be here and assert your authority, you go ahead. But don't ask me, don't say nothing to me. Don't, if somebody gets hurt, something happens, that's on you. You wanted to override or do whatever, but that's on you. That's on you.
Well,
I really, I think this day and age, I've also noticed on social media, but in real life a lot, is that people assume that you're supposed to just give them the right of way, not just like in driving the right of way, but like the right of
life,
way of everything.
yes.
And don't be a woman. You really gotta give the male the right of way, or be a person of color, then you have to deal with that. So
And I don't do that.
it's no, I'm just saying I've seen it on social media. I've seen it in the world.
I'm
And I'm
not
just like, I don't
discriminating.
understand why people assume that there's not common courtesy for everybody.
It's that it goes back to that entitlement. Like
Mhm,
me, the person I am, I don't have a problem sharing a space. Who cares?
mhm,
It's a space. However, now the older I get, the more bitchy I am. I'm just it is what it is. Like, so if I'm walking and we're walking, now we can each, get over a little bit. But if you're gonna keep walking, I'm keep perfect example. I was at Pilates last week, and where I take Pilates might be 20% others, and I'm a other, so POC's others, mostly Caucasian. Not a problem, could care less. But I only take with classes with certain teachers, so I know I pretty much see the same women. Okay. So it's this one woman, and I speak to everybody because I see you every week. So I say
mhm.
hello. She never would speak. So I stopped, acknowledging her as a human being. So when she would come in, I don't see you either. It's not a big thing. I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to get my body in shape. So she came in. She was talking to the receptionist, and I was putting on my socks. I didn't acknowledge her. Our instructor came out from her previous class, and I said hi to her, and she gets these beautiful nails. She has these beautiful. So I made note of her nail because I said I'm gonna say something to her later. Spoke to her. I spoke to some of the other ladies coming in, and I went and grabbed my reformer. Of course, I ended up on reformer next to a lady who don't want to talk to me, and don't care about that. Wiping it down. So I had to go potty. So in at least my Pilates studio, I can't remember the amount. Let's say it's 16 reformers. So it's 8 and 8. And it's a narrow walkway in between. You have enough room to do this in between. Okay. It's not that much space. So if you're walking down the little path to go to the bathroom, somebody gonna have to give way. So she was coming from the bathroom. I was going to the bathroom. And I guess she decided she wasn't gonna give way. I didn't care. I got time today. We both in the same class, paying the same money, doing the same thing. I'm not the one. So I shoulder checked her hard as hell and went on to the bathroom. Came back out, did the class. So when class was over, I was standing out in the lobby, And the instructor came out, and I was like, I just wanted to tell you, I love your Halloween nails. They are gorgeous. And so she was showing them to me, and we were talking about her nails and her nail tech. So all of a sudden, Miss, I want to talk to you, want to get in a conversation. Because, be damned if I can talk to her and you can't talk to her. So she gets in the conversation. So I kind of rolled my eyes at her and I was like, you know what, not today, Satan. So I was like, yeah, I don't know how she works with these nails because I would have impaled myself. So we all three laughed. And then I went on about my day because I'm just like, no, no. Could I have been wrong? No, I was totally right because I can read people. So, you know, I don't let things go anymore. And I've also noticed that people expect me to explain things to them. When we
Ooh.
were going back about the entitlement thing, like if I'm having a disagreement, I've had disagreements with people I've worked with before, especially when I was doing real estate, because that, you spend a lot of time with singular people. So having conversations about things going on in the world, um, especially here in Georgia, and the different race relations and things of that nature. Um, and white men love this one. Well, I don't understand. Okay, well, how can't you understand? This is what I see. Well, I don't see it that way. That's acceptable. But we're talking about these properties. Because see, I don't have political discussions with people. I don't have religious discussions with people. So I'm like, we're talking about these properties. Let's keep going. So then it's like they're going to want to force it. So then circle back. Well, no, I just really don't understand. Well, can you explain that to me? No, no. You want to explain it? No. Well, how do you expect me to understand? Figure it out like I did. This is my point of view. That's your point of view. They can go down the same street. We don't have to be joined. It's okay. But about this property, we need to come to an agreement on these pricings. Like, I'm not trying to be your friend, dude. I'm not here to teach you. I don't care if you don't understand my point as a Black woman of a certain age. You're not a Black woman of a certain age that was born in the Midwest, went to school in the South. Like, I have a whole range of experiences that you will never understand, and that's okay. It's okay. But my job is not to teach you.
Yeah. I I completely understand you on that. I think they think we're supposed to be monolithic and just not have any substance to ourselves. But then
Mm.
debating something, it's you better know how to do it.
You know what is so funny? When someone can't figure something out, it's so difficult for them and they just can't get it. And they just, oh, I just can't get this. It's so hard. And so they leave it. And then you do it in like 5 minutes.
Mhm.
And then they come back around and, okay, I'm going to try again. Well, it's done. Well, how did you do that? I just did it. I just did it. You just-
Because I and that just goes into, like, people actually trying to do things for themselves and be self-sufficient. That like when we talked about being Gen X, that's one of the things that we learned was to be self-sufficient. Like you being a latchkey kid, I would go to the babysitter and even still with that, like they had kids, like they had to do things with their kids.
Yeah.
So pretty much I was still self-sufficient. I still was there by myself. Like it's a lot when you have always been you've been raised in a generation where you had to do things on your own. You had to make a way. You had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Where now people wanna ask you questions like, "Why are you asking me? You don't know how to do" like, there's directions, there's, YouTube University, there's AI now, like, figure the thing out. Now, if you use all those things and you still can't get it, then maybe I'll help. But, like, you don't even crack open those things. Like I will AI something in a minute. I
Yes, we
will
know.
Google it in a minute. I will uh until I get the understanding for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think that's sad. What else have you seen on the interweb, as you like to call it?
Interwebs. Well, seeing that I be watching K-drama, not much. I seen the man cheat on the woman and her beat him up and then they get back together, but that's the last K-drama I watched. I really, to be honest with you, try to stay away from a lot of the news because it's so depressing.
Oh, I don't even go there. The
Um,
last thing I saw was the whole thing with Governor Pritzker and the mayor of Chicago and all of this stuff.
the ice stuff.
Yeah, and and like I have two thoughts of it. My first thought is, wow, you hate people that much that you can't let them live because you hate them that much.
I hate. I don't know
Oh,
exactly
oh,
what you're
oh,
talking
hold
about,
on,
so
hold
I
on.
was no, this is
Oh,
I don't
mhm.
mean to interject to stop
Uh-huh.
you. Can you explain to me what it is that you're seeing? Because I don't know what you're saying. So,
Um, with people just rolling out on on innocent kids walking home, um, parents who are just driving,
okay.
people that aren't even so-called the immigrants.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I'm saying you hate people that much because a lot of the things that you're doing has nothing to do with the immigrants. It has to do with people that look like me and you.
Okay. So, my point of view on that is it's not hate, it's incitement. So, I have sold the narrative, and I just had this discussion with a person a couple of weeks ago, when it came to the Charlie Kirk thing. So, I have preached a narrative of what people who look like you and me do. I preached a narrative about their mindset and how they're inhuman. I preached a narrative about they're lazy. I preached a narrative about the crime coming from one subset of society. I've preached all these narratives, which aren't true. Um, and I rolled out my big, beautiful plan um, that is really contingent upon the POC people adhering to my narrative. Because once they come out and start being violent, once they come out and start being basically what I am, an insurrectionist, then I can enact martial law. Then I can really take the control I want to take and really change and shake things up. So I did step one, which was get the mostly, not all, mostly unintelligent, unread people to follow me based upon keywords. I used certain words that I knew would click in their mind and that they would join without even thinking about it, without doing the research. I use keywords: pro-life, um, what's the militant, crime bills, abortion bad, um, immigrants taking my jobs. I use all these keywords, and that worked. I got where I needed to be. That was step one. Well, step two ain't working because my POCs ain't coming out acting like they supposed to act. They're staying at home. They're fighting me in different ways. They're fighting me on the intellectual level. They're fighting me on a fiscal level. They're just putting their money back in their pockets. they're still doing what they're supposed to do. Dang, what do I do about that? Then on top of that, my more intelligent people who were following me are starting to notice, hey, what you said is not really making sense now. I was just more so following a movement, not a human. And now I'm realizing it's not a movement, it's just a human. I'm not liking this. So, how am I going to get everybody to be back on my side? Okay, I'm going to do something to cause those people to react. So, I'm going to go after the weakest links. I'm going to go after their children. I'm going to go after them at 3 o'clock in the morning when they're asleep. I'm going to go after their non-POC uh, support because then I'm going to shake that tree and they're going to come out of their homes and come out of their workplaces and they're going to do what I need them to do so that I can say, see, look at them. That's why we got to put them down. That's why I got to get them out. And the sad part is it's still not working because it's the same playbook that has been played over and over and over again. It's not going to work because for it to work, you have to have people who don't read and don't learn. We read, we learn, we talk to each other, and we're not the same people as our ancestors because we have more now. So the weapons you have, we have. The intelligence you have, we have. The money you have, we have. It's not the same battle. So that's why I say I don't think it's a hate thing. The people running around doing this stuff, they're ignorant. They're ignorant or they're misled. It's not a hate thing because you got to really look at it. If it was just, I hate you so much, then the whites would not be getting taken away too, and they are. They are. It's not a it's not a hate thing. Don't buy into that narrative. Um, is it us against them? And I'm not saying us people of color against white America or white people in general. I'm saying us against them, the powers that be versus the rest of the world. Yep. But I'm gonna use the race card. I always use the race card. It's always been the race card. I got rid of DEI. Yeah, and you all lost your jobs. I still got one. Because DEI is not the reason I was hired. But you don't have a job. Black the farmers. Oh my God, I'm losing my farm. Black farmers like, yeah, it's hard, but we've been there before. We never got support. So we figured out another way to make a profit. You don't know how to move. Just like remember COVID when everybody was buying all the toilet paper. And we're like, okay, toilet paper gone. Soap, water, and a towel. Like, you don't know how to clean your behind? We dealing with them people. Somebody who couldn't even say, it's no more toilet paper. What do I do? So, my opinion, we don't have to agree. That's my opinion. I
I,
think
I
it's a rallying point.
I understand what you're saying. I'm going to go, and I agree with you, but I am going to go. There is hate because, and I'm going to say that because, like you said, he uses those keywords. Those keywords are hate words for a lot of those. So I agree with you in everything that you're saying intellectually. I'm looking at the word hate as a what fuels the fire. So
Mm,
intellectually, what you're saying is completely right. They're using those things for the intellectuals to work on certain people's, I wouldn't even call them heartstrings, but certain people's triggers. And those triggers are of hate,
okay.
is what I mean. Um, I think a lot of people don't see themselves in the world. And that's a lot of people. And because they don't see themselves in the world, when they use those words and they feel like they're being attacked and they don't feel seen, that gives me the reason to attack those other people. That gives me a reason to attack the PLCs. It gives me a reason saying people learning line dances, people I follow these boys who do Black Boy Joy, and there's a group of them and they go try different things in the world like Pilates and salsa dancing and stuff, and they have Black Boy Joy, and like they see that and then they're like, "What?" Like, I gotta crush that, and I've gotta crush that by taking away everything, but also too using that fear mongering and that hatred I have for myself because I don't see myself in the world to hate on that. And I
Mhm.
think one thing, I can't remember what president said it, but one of the presidents said, if you can get the poorest of us of the the poorest of the whites to see themselves as better than the blacks, you will always be able to have racism.
That was written in the old Bibles when they used to give them to the slaves and they had separate Bibles. That was the whole reason race was even put together, uh,
Oh, I know.
to
I
be
know.
us against them. And I didn't mean us as people with darker hue or lighter hue skin. I just meant the haves from the have-nots.
Mhm.
And this is something I was discussing with my husband actually a while ago. And I just don't understand it. My logical brain can't get it. And he's quick to tell me, but your logical brain is not what rules the world. I'm like, that's true.
I say that all the time.
But I really have no concept to understand. Okay, so I'm of the top 0.001%. So I'm ruling the world. I'm ruling the world and doing my stuff. Doody 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 do. Okay. I have my worker bees, which are us. We're the worker bees. My worker bees are happy and they will continue to work for me. All I have to do is give them the illusion that they're achieving. So, what that means is they go to work for fair pay, they have time for vacation, they make enough money so that they can have the illusion of security. You make enough money so that you can buy a home if that's your choice, or you can do little investments. You can go on trips, maybe 1 to 2 trips a year. You're working towards your retirement, and you know that once I hit 55, 67, whatever the new age is, um, I can live the rest of my life comfortably. I can rest, I can travel, I can sleep, I can eat. I don't have to be a Walmart door greeter to make ends meet because I've made enough. I've worked in this field, I've achieved, I'm comfortable. And then I can send my children to school so that you have more workers. In order to make this work though, maybe about 5% of us regular people has to kind of break through or think they broke through, and become the new millionaires or maybe even little billion. I'll give you 2, 3 billion. It keeps everybody happy, right? I'm still making my ungodly wealth. I'm controlling the world. I'm doing what I want to do. And my worker bees are happy. They get up and they happily go to work and keep me where I need to be. So, why would you mess with a great plan? Why you got to be greedy and say, no, no, you can't have your housing because we're going to make the economy so fucked up that you can't afford a house anymore. Okay.
This wasn't a great plan.
But you see what I'm saying though? It actually was a plan. That's how the world used to be
It was a
run.
plan, but it wasn't a great plan.
I think it's an amazing plan. That's how our ancestors did it. The kings and queens, not don't look in Europe. Hate to say that, but it's the truth. Older people back in the day, They stayed in power because they allowed those who were underneath them the illusion of freedom. If I'm making $100 and you making your $1, but with that $1, you can get a home, you can have vacations, you can have savings, your children can be happy, you're not going to aspire for more. There's always the few that will aspire for more, but allow some of them to make it because then it keeps hope alive. So yeah, I'm gonna keep working for my dollar because one day I'm gonna make five. And you allow a couple to make five, but you still making 100. So what do you care? Not, I want to make 200 and you get 50 cents. And you can't buy a house because a house costs $3. And you can't have health care. Oh, you can't eat. Don't think you're gonna eat. Oh, you're gonna grow your own food? Nope, nope, we're gonna poison the ground. You can't grow your own food. You gotta buy fake food from me. But you can't afford it. But you need to still work for me. Logically, that's dumb. You messed up something that would have worked forever. You would have always stayed in power. And we would have been very content living our lives. You can even
But
have wars and all that shit. We wouldn't have cared.
mm,
War
but
war
do you really think that they're the ones who are supposed to be in power?
I didn't say that they are supposed to be. I don't think they are, and I think that's the issue. Because before things flipped and it worked for so long, they weren't the people in power.
All right.
Like, look at our ancestors. And I think this goes across the board. I don't know Anglo-Saxon ancestry. Sorry. It's not my forte. But even if we killed a buffalo, you use the whole buffalo. You ate the meat, you use the skin, you use the bones, you use the blood. Nothing went to waste. We only killed and used what we needed. You know, I always say it is more than enough in this world for everyone to have.
Mhm.
But then you're talking about the people who wiped out the buffalo population so that the natives wouldn't have food source and they would die out. Did you need to kill them all? Mm-mm, you didn't even use them as trophies. You just killed them so that the people couldn't eat. What you get from that? Nothing.
Yeah, you got their land. You were able to put them in reservations because they were starving and dying off. You took their children and put them in these special schools which they were just concentration camps for kids, or you sent them off to be adopted by people who were whatever they were because they weren't parents. Um, and you got what you wanted. You brought over blankets with smallpox and wiped out generations of people who've been here. Like
But do you
I
really
think, huh?
think? You think? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that a lot of the things that went on in this world in general, yes, you're talking about the power dynamics and having that 1.00% of people up there and then giving the illusion of freedom and everything like that. But why do we have to have an illusion of freedom when everything that this world has to offer is free? The
Oh,
air's free,
I
the
agree with
water's
you
free, the grass is free.
700%. But my point, Olivia, is if I'm going to come in and do these things, if I'm gonna come in and do, if my role and my point is to take over and control, once I get to my point, once I reach my goal, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to stay there, which
Mhm.
means giving those beneath me an illusion.
Which
But
I agree.
you said earlier, and
Mhm.
I really think it kind of touches full circle. You said entitlement.
Mhm.
I was thinking while you were talking, instant gratification, which is what this generation of children, they don't understand how to wait. They don't know how to wait. So the people you're talking about and the people that I was talking about as well, it's instant gratification. No one looked to the future to figure out if I do it this way, I might not make $1 trillion this year, but I'll make 10 trillion over 50 years and my generations will be set. But I want it now. What about your generations? I don't care. They'll get it because I want it now. Um, so yeah, but as far as what you said about everything being free and for everybody, I agree with that most definitely. But I got to function in the world I live in today.
Oh, I agree on that. I
Yeah.
definitely understand that you have to do that, but I try to, yeah, I'm looking of more of my thinking is more of what in the world made you think that using all of this was going to turn out to be what you thought it was going to be, like you said, and cite all of these things in us when you even said yourself, we're not our ancestors. Like, and when people think that way, I really feel that it's not just greed and money. I also think it's hatred. I think that they don't have love for themselves. It's self-hate and it's hate of others that they do this. They force things for it to happen. But again, that's the loving side of me. My logical brain knows that, like I said, if you make the poorest of the poor believe that they're better than the best of the blacks, then it's going to work. Or best of any POC, it's going to work.
I'm going to even go so far as to say, remember, we were talking, was that you and me, about how um, it just seems that there is a targeted assassination of Black America from everywhere. And I do not understand, maybe because I'm a Black American, so I don't understand where it comes from. I have not heard of one culture that regards Black Americans as just Americans, just people. It's always a negative. I don't care if you are Caribbean, Asian, Latin, European, and African. It's always an issue with Black America. Black Americans don't have a culture. Black Americans don't know this. Black Americans don't know that. But every single person that I just said, every single type of person I just said, steals from Black Americans' culture that we don't have.
That's
You
because the
speak.
narrative has always been we are the worst and the lowest of the low. No matter, even when it came to slavery, they would get, and I hate that our people even participated some, but even when we did participate, it was always you got your worst of the worst, your thieves, your robbers and whatever, and you sent them over. And even the Europeans, when they came to America, they sent over their thieves, their robbers, their all of those people because they figured, oh, we can use them, we can control them. It reminds me of a TV show that I just watched on Netflix called 100, and they sent 100 kids down to Earth after Earth had a big atomic thing, and they sent the worst of the worst kids because they were kids who wanted to go out. They wanted to find new things. They wanted to do things different than their parents. They might have stolen something, they might have blown something up, but they were teenagers, and their best way of keeping them in line is they put them in these little prisons and then sent them down to earth. And I feel like a lot of people don't see that just because you think we are not the best of your best, don't think we're not. We can grow, we can learn, we can do all of these things like you because we're human. And I think that a lot of the narrative that Black Americans get is from the beginning was we weren't human. When we became human, we were nothing but animals. We fought, we raped, we killed, we pillaged, when that was never the case. And that got put sent out to all of the other parts of the diaspora. So they were scared. They didn't want to be a part of that. That's why when they even come over, they'd be like, I know black, I know black, or
I disagree, but finish.
I'm African, because they don't want to be a part of the narrative of being drug dealers, being gangbangers, being poor. They don't want to be a part of that. And instead of just saying, hey, when I came over here, they embraced me. They helped me. They they bought from my store because I was black. They 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 taught me how to read, or they taught me how to dress, how to have the swag that I took back to my own country. And now everyone's using our swag or our music or our whatever. I just I just feel like our PR has been so bad that it's gone everywhere. And that is the reason why people treat us the way we do in every culture, because our PR is they're nothing but thugs, gangbangers, baby mamas, welfare recipients, and animals.
Yeah. Yeah, we have bad PR, we'll give you that. But I think the reality is simple. I want to be better than something. So I see that this culture, regardless of what they have endured, has survived and thrived. So I'm going to go over, and especially the Africans. Yeah, I'm gonna be black till it don't serve me. I'm gonna do just like everybody else do. I don't care that I look just like them. I'm gonna be black until it doesn't serve me.
Mhm.
Yes, I
Everyone
can
does.
utilize it. I can blend in with the culture. But then when it comes down to it, when they start talking bad about them, I'm gonna get in on that too, without the people ever realizing. But you will never be the others. I don't care what you do, what you say, you will never be the other. So you don't have to like me, but don't put me down. But the PR thing, yes, I agree with. It has definitely been a twisted narrative, but that has to and I'm not saying excuse to you, but that excuse, because that's the crap I hear from a lot of people. Yeah, that's old. I could have bought that in the 70s, 80s, even early 90s. But it has been enough travel. It has been enough. You've seen it. The internet is rampant. You see the reality of what's going on in the world. You just still want to be better than something else. Like we'll go with Black British people. As a whole, I don't care for them. I don't. Now, if I meet you individually and you're a good person individually, I like you. Because, see, I'm not going to judge a whole race or whatever, I don't know what you would call it, of people based on a few. But I have not met one personally. I'm not going to say what I've seen personally, um, that hasn't done the where are you from? Chicago. No, where are you from? Chicago. Well, you don't know your history. Sweetie, I was born in Chicago. My mother was born in Mississippi. My grandmother was born in Mississippi. I'm an American. I'm from Chicago. Where are you from? Well, I'm from London, but my parents are Nigerian. That's great. I'm happy you know that. I don't. That is not a fault of ours. It's a reason we don't know. It's okay. So we don't have to know what tribe we descended from because we build our own culture. We've built our own culture. We're Americans. Like, I had got upset once. I think Raven Simone or Simone, as she says, had made the statement. Someone asked her something about being African American. She was like, I'm American. I'm not African American. And she even said, how many generations does it take for you to take the Africa off of my delineation? I'm American. At first, when she said it, I was like, no, and I thought about it. I was like, nowhere else do people get Afra in front of their names. I'm Caribbean. I'm Latino. I'm Spanish. I'm European. I'm German. Only here. Then on the flip side of that, your people, the other people are diaspora, right? Okay. Your people in the diaspora get upset if we say the African part. Well, you don't know where you're from. Well, bump it. I'm not African anyway. I'm American. I know my personal lineage, if I got 15% of the Africa left, I'm such a mixed bag of people. It's ridiculous. And I'm okay with that. Like, it is what it is. We're not pure blood. We can't be. It's like impossible. So let it go. So stop thinking that by stepping on something you're going to be better. So yes, I know I might. I was about to say something that would have been insightful, so I'm not going to say that. I might seem a little flip floppish because I'm going to say I agree with you. I do agree with the hate part, the self hate. My disagreement is the externalized hate because I still think it's just all rooted in the self, and they're projecting it. And I might be agreeing with you because I think you might have said that, projecting it upon us because we're an easy target. Immigrants, easy target. Black people, easy target. Gays and lesbians, easy targets. You know, my opinion.
So what else have you I know you uh like to watch your K-pops, but when you do get off and you scroll a little bit, is there anything else you see when you
Right.
scroll?
Yes. I, it's kind of like because I've been developing my spirituality for years. I kind of have a love hate with the fact that people are becoming more spiritual. Because I'm like, are y'all becoming spiritual or are you following a trend? So
Mhm.
I'm starting to see a whole lot of these spiritual people. Um, and I noticed, so I'm going to say, so when I have my office space, so this is right after COVID. So we're talking like 2022. It was that big from Back to Jesus. I don't know if you remember it, the big Back to Jesus
Mhm.
campaign, where all the spiritual girlies who was big into tarot and throwing bones and all of the catchphrase stuff, all of a sudden they're going, I'm going back to
Mhm.
Jesus, going back
Mhm.
to Jesus. And I'm like, well, first off, to be spiritual, you never had to leave. If you were a Christian, you're a Christian. That don't hinder your spirituality. Um, but don't play with something you don't understand. So I'm like, y'all was dipping your toe in something. They had the audacity to try to make money off of it.
Mhm. I remember the one girl specifically.
It was one here that I liked, and I will watch her because I liked her relationship. She's a single mom. I liked her relationship with her
Yeah.
son.
That's the one I watched.
I liked her, but right before she kind of started doing the back to Jesus, she got a little weird, and I was like, "You ain't right." Like something was, I could see it, and I just couldn't put my finger. I was like, "Something not right about her." Like, are you lying? Are you actually pulling cards? Or are you just saying stuff? So, what?
I will say I have seen a lot more. Um, I will say for some, it could be a trend. I've seen some who have been genuine because I've actually like There was one person that I actually did a class with, and she was genuine. Um, and I did a class with her in person. You've done a class with someone in person who's been on social media. That's genuine.
Mhm.
I think there could be two parts, definitely two parts. There are people who are truly spiritual, but some that's how they make their money though, which
That's okay.
that's what I was gonna say, which is okay. The ones that are just jumping on, like you said, just for the likes and the clicks and things like that, those are the ones we always have to just have discernment around. You just really have to know what you're looking for, what you want before you give anybody at this point your money or even your time. Because even when you give them your time, you're giving them currency.
A big currency.
Because time is the biggest currency that you can give anybody. And
Mhm.
that's so funny because we talked about that this morning about giving away our time,
Yes,
and
and
people
time is not
being
renewable.
selfish in taking our time.
Yes. So, while you were talking, I was listening to it, I was also thinking. So, I'm kinda likening all of these new some real, but mostly fake, gurus to your fake religious leaders. Like, to
Mhm.
me, spirituality and religion go hand in hand.
Mhm.
Like, so for okay, you let me know if I'm getting too far to the left and we can stop. So,
Yeah.
for me, the way I see the church, we're just going to call it the church.
Mhm.
I see the church as a big corporation. Okay.
Well, it is
So, in order for my corporation to continue, I got to bring new people into my corporation to keep
all the
my money
time,
up, you know?
all the time.
So, I got to do what I got to do to keep my money up. Um, but in the current world, we have a lot of people because it is that time awakening and realizing I can be a Christian and I can actually talk directly to God myself for
Yes.
your Christians. Um, I can be a Buddhist and I can go to temple and I can have this relationship myself. I can be a Muslim and I can have the relationship myself. I can be spiritual and realize that I'm my own God, whether or not I believe in an outside source or not. I don't got to pay you. Hmm. So now all of a sudden, it's like a direct war against spiritual and church going people. Whereas I'm like, why is it a war when both fractions or factions use the same materials? We all use crystals, we all use water, we all use smoke, we all use earth, we all use the Bible in its various forms. We all use the same stuff. So why can't we just exist and you do your thing and I do my thing? And as long as we're working toward a common goal of making this planet better, we can coexist. Why I gotta be your way?
Because on both sides, some people aren't here to make the planet better. They're here to make their pockets bigger. They're here to get the new Lincoln. Back in the day when your pastor would come up with the new Lincoln town car
Yeah.
or the newest Mercedes or Lexus or have the new Gators on or now the Louis Vuitton shoes, having on the best suits, your church, the mother of the church, or lady whatever pastor's wife would
First
have on
lady.
the best hat. Now she
Mhm,
has on the designer clothes,
mhm,
all of those different things.
mhm.
And it's not just, and it's in all sets. Like they again, time is money, but money is also currency too, that they need that energy. They
Yeah,
need to feed off of, and both sets need to
yeah,
feed off of people's
most definitely.
emotions. They need to feed off of people's energy for them to
Mm-mm.
actually grow. Um, I was just watching on TikTok a pastor being arrested in the middle of the actual service,
Mm.
being walked out. And one of the guys said, "Pastor, where is my money?" Like, to know that in this time, people are still trying to, well, we got the church fund, we got the building fund, or we got the roof fund, we got the daycare fund, like still doing all of those things. Like, it's crazy to me because at this point, everything that you give, it should be going back into the community. People should be able to come to you guys at this point now in all sects and be able to say, "Hey, I can't pay my rent this month. Can you pay?" Like, and I'm about to get put out. Can
I'm
I
gonna play
get
devil's
a house?
advocate. I'm gonna play devil's
Where
advocate with that.
where they'll
Finish.
be like, "Well, have you made, well, your last tide was only this, or you didn't tide enough. You don't have enough money in your." I don't even know how they keep their books, but whatever. Or they um feeding the homeless, or even having the accommodations to have a daycare, or do these different things for the community, considering they are all tax exempt, all of them. Any type of spiritual sect that wants to go to the courts, they could be, they don't have to pay taxes. So why are we not now at 2025 out there truly helping the needy out there? So play devil's advocate.
Okay. So probably an unpopular opinion. I was heavy into my church for a long time, but I've always had the same belief set that I have today. Never changed. I do believe, as a church being a corporation, if my corporation grows, uh, my lifestyle should reflect the fact that my corporation growed. So you should have a nice car. You know why? Because your tithes and offerings are making enough money to afford you that car. So I'm a CEO and I grew my business from a storefront to a mega church. My
Mhm.
lifestyle should reflect that. That's my reality. So I don't have a problem with that. Um, and I fault parishioners. If you're in a church, just like I would fault you if you were following a spiritual person, same difference to me. And you see that lifestyle not reflecting what you're being told. So if you're in a church, first off, if the church doesn't grow, it's a problem. Because usually when the church is doing what they're supposed to do, it attracts other people who are looking for that and searching to build and to help the community. So it grows. And those generally do help the community. We may not see it, but from my experience, they do help. They're going to line them pockets now, but they do help, close down liquor stores if that's what you want to do. Um, have stuff for homeless, pay your rent. I know the church I used to attend and I'm still on the books for, they pay your rent and all that. You don't even have to be, honestly, you don't have to even be a member. If you really come to them, they will help you. So, I don't know under this new pastor, who I don't care for, but I can tell you what the old one did. The one that grew it from a storefront to a mega church, he's now retired. So a lot of them do what they're supposed to do. And if you're following someone and they're not doing what you expect them to do, you stop giving them your coin. You go down the street to another church and you go there. So just like I would say with spiritual people, if I'm following you for you teaching me what I need to do, and I go to pay, I just recently disjoined a group because I felt that it was cool and all, but I'm not getting what I'm paying for. I'm not going to down the group because the other people in the group, they're happy. I ain't getting what I paid for. So you're not getting my coin or my time no more. That's a personal decision. I'm gonna move on. Um, and another devil's advocate thing, I'm not gonna be as heavy in the church anymore. However, it's needed because there are a lot of sheeple in the world who don't understand they can do it on their own, and they need to be told what to do. So they need to go and they need to do like the Matrix and get plugged into the battery, get their energy used, and they think that they're doing something, and they feel better. And that's on all sides. It's just like certain people, like not everybody is here. I'm not going to say to grow, but to grow. Some people just here, babe. They just the cogs walking down the street. There's a lot of them, and they need their community. So I allow them their community. Don't bother me now. I love going to church, especially if the band good and the choir good. I enjoy it. I even still enjoy if I'm with an ethical minister. And I'm not talking about your personal life because a man is a man, a woman is a woman. We all gonna step out and do some things um, that ain't right to other people necessarily. It is what it is. But I enjoy the teachings. I enjoy learning the different words, the different Bible verses, and I love the way some people are orators and that
Mhm.
they're really good at storytelling, and I enjoy that. You know, um, it's like story time for adults, so I enjoy that. I get a story. My story has a lesson. I feel community. I get to hear some good music, and then I go. But for me, when I go, I live my life according to a certain plan that's in me. A lot of people, when they go, they just out and doing willy nilly until next Sunday or Wednesday. They go to Bible study. And until the pastor or the prophetess or whoever tells them what to do for the next week, they just willy nilly and until they get their instruction for the next week. So I don't know. I don't know. That's just what's going on in my universe, my little universe over here.
Yeah, your universe is small for you.
It is. I think we all have our own. So you and I, we have neighboring universes. We come together and sometimes we intermingle, but we are still two different people with two
Mhm.
different mindsets and two different experiences. So
100%.
yeah, we're not
But
always.
I think that's what makes a friendship.
Yeah.
Um, like uh today, the TikTok was if you don't have a friend that you can call and be like, girl, is this a boil or is this an ingrown hair? Girl, I don't know. I'm gonna come over with my tweezers or girl, my nipples. God, can you see my nipples? Like just having that true friendship where you can actually share. And I think relationships in general, a lot of them are manufactured because you manufacture them from if they were school age, you were friends because you were in a certain class, or you were friends because you were in the sorority, or you were friends because of this. Like, are you truly friends outside of that box that you met? That's what
Mhm.
I mean about manufactured.
Okay.
A lot of friendships and relationships are manufactured. A lot of them are trauma bonded too. Like
That's a
relationships
good
are trauma
point.
bonded.
Mm,
And until one person comes out of that trauma, you're always going to be bonded a certain way. I know I was watching Kurt Franklin has a new Den of Kings.
A new
podcast.
who?
Den of Kings.
Den of Kings?
Den of
Okay,
Kings.
I've never heard of it. Okay.
Um, and he has different people, men on who come and speak about different things. He had one because I love Kev on Stage. Shout out to Kev on Stage. I love him. And he was on there. Jonathan Major, who has had a lot happen to him, was on there. Um, Dr. J, I don't know who he is.
Dr.
And
J, the
yeah,
basketball player?
no, 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 no. Actual He used to play for the NFL and then became a pastor, and
Oh,
then or a doctor, sorry, a doctor. And then NLE, his last name, well, he used to be NLE Chopper. Now he's NLE something else. Um, but like in Ray J.
Red
And
L.
they were having this conversation about relationships. It was supposed to be on mental health, Black men's mental health. Then
Okay.
it turned into relationships. And it was kind of refreshing to see Black men talk about like how their friendships are actually developed. And again, like I said, most of them are manufactured. It could be because they played sports together. It could be that they were in school together, whatever. But how they keep them developed with actually letting their vulnerability out. And
Okay.
one of the things that Kevin was saying is that out of his crew, he had his brother pass away.
Mm,
And he's like, my vulnerability, I don't like I don't know if I could be vulnerable with any new people. And I think in friendships, vulnerability is so important. And not just vulnerability, but transparency.
mm,
Because in this world as we know it, a lot of people are plugged into the matrix, as you said, and they don't know how to unplug. Those of us who are unplugged, we are vulnerable with each other. We are transparent with each other. And it's hard making friends, especially at this stage of life, because a lot of people are so plugged in still that they don't know how to work the other way because they are still plugged in. They don't know how to be vulnerable. They don't know how to be transparent. And the reason I was saying this is because that TikTok really made me think about like the friendship that you and I have gone through. And that's with all who are in the crew. It it really gives me joy that we can call each other up and say, "Hey, Jay's coming into town. Let's hang out." Or, "Hey, let's do a game night." Or, "Let's go here." Or, one of our friends' mother passed away. Let's go to the funeral and support them. Like, it gives me joy because some people don't have that. They don't have true friends who are going to be vulnerable, who will sit with them when they cry or sit with them and they're a mess. And I mean truly a mess, from mentally a mess to maybe physically a mess or even environment a mess.
mhm, mhm,
They don't have that in the world.
mm,
And I definitely am happy that, girl, we've had our ups and downs, but I'm
mm,
glad that I've been able to be a mess with you and you've let me be a mess with you. You've let me be vulnerable
mhm,
and I have been transparent And it's sometimes I feel scared sometimes because I that vulnerability is hard because when you don't get a chance to be vulnerable because you have to keep everything going, it's really hard. What do you think about friendship?
Girl,
But
I don't
I
know.
feel drop all that.
Oh, I think you said it all. You know, today where I am, um, at 51, I can count my friends maybe on one and a half hands. Um, a lot of people left. And um, I think for me, a lot of people left because I'm not a people pleaser anymore. So I wasn't always available for you anymore because I have things going on and I used to take other people's, like I was a dumping ground. I'll just say that. I was the dumping ground. So my phone would ring all the time because when someone was emotionally in pain, they would call me to dump that. And I would store that energy, which affected me very negatively. I don't do that anymore because it didn't help me. I gained nothing from that. And I realized that those people didn't really care for me anyway. So they left. A lot of them left. So when you had said earlier about, I don't know if you used the term awakened or what have you, but it's lonely. It can be lonely.
100%.
So I literally, and Olivia will tell you, as I be telling her to do it too, I go and do a lot of things by myself. I am my best friend. But I had to learn to be that. Like I can now go out and do things by myself. I had said a couple months ago, I bought a whole table at an event. I invited people to come with me. They didn't have to pay. I had paid for the table. Nobody wanted to come with me. I said, fine. So I went and I had my whole table by myself. Everybody else had people at their tables. It didn't matter. I had my table and I had a great time um, with myself because I had to learn how to love me. So now that I'm loving me and I'm giving the authentic me, I've noticed that the people who are still here really are for me. And the other ones left. So I'm not wasting my time anymore. But what are my feelings on friendship? I mean, I'm happy and I'm grateful for the reconnection of the crew I had when I was in my teens. I love it was so many of us. I mean, it might have been 12 or 13 of us back in the day. We all separated, went to school, got married, had kids, got divorced, all kind of stuff. Came back together, and now it's six, seven. Let me see, mm, 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 seven, right? So seven left. I appreciate the people who came back into my life because when I tell you we all have different points of views, it's
Mm.
different points of views. It's different lifestyle choices. And we can sit and talk to each other and disagree. Like at the core of who we are, at the core of our being, disagree, but still have love. And even though I don't agree with you, if you need me, I'm there. Like, okay, the last time I was home, um, a call went out and we ended up just sitting and enjoying each other. And I didn't expect it. I did not expect it. Um, People even set aside things that they normally don't leave the house for to just come and be in each other's presence. And it was beautiful. So, yeah, I think I've finally gotten to the point of having genuine, real friendships.
Hmm.
And I really like that. But that also is kind of scary because then you like, I don't want to do anything to mess up that real friendship.
And that's a very good point about that. But I think if it's a truly genuine friendship, you should be able to talk about anything that might be something that might hinder the friendship or make someone feel a certain type of way. Like, we should be able to agree to disagree. We should be able to, like, conversation we've been having today. Like, you see it so much more logically than I do, where I'm more of a feeling-based person.
Mhm,
So I see it from the feeling standpoint. Not saying that I don't see it logically, I do, but we have two different versions of the same thing
mhm,
in our lives. Um, but if you guys can come back and have conversations, and I think that is the most important thing. Like you said, when we were able to get together and have genuine conversations, you can't mess up a true friendship if you can have genuine conversations and people are being their genuine selves and
yeah,
people are truly expressing all of them, all of them.
yeah,
I mean, you should be able to talk about politics. You should be talking about religion. You should be talking about current events. You should be able to talk about silly stuff. You should be able to talk about sex. You should be able to talk about all of it. And no matter what point of view someone has, you guys can chuckle, laugh, hee hee ha ha, but be able to come back and say, okay, I see what you're saying. I might not agree, but I see
mhm,
what you're saying. And we still gonna kick it. We still gonna play Uno afterwards. We still gonna dance. We still gonna go axe throwing. We still gonna have dinner. We still gonna play black card, whatever. We're still going to be who we are when we were those 15, 16, 17
yeah,
year old kids who first met each other.
yeah,
But I think even for those people who don't have that friendship from like we have, that we were able to still rekindle and harness at this age, again, you should be able to have a friendship where you can nurture. And I think, like you said, a lot of people are scared of messing that up. But if they were truly for you when you met them, nothing's going to mess them up. That's what I truly think.
okay. Don't be smiling at me on the camera.
I saw that on you because your son is kissing all over your face.
It
It's so
came back, right? I love the sun, I love the
I do
sun.
too. That's why I
I
sat
need to go
here for so
sunbathe.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But you know what, Olivia? I don't know. When we get together, like when we got together and played Uno and stuff, I did not feel like at that time, was I even 50? I was turning 50. I
Mhm.
didn't feel like that. I felt like ageless. It was just having fun with my friends, being in a safe place, not worrying about kids and spouses and jobs and bills and life. It was just in that room, in that time, in that moment. And I wish that for everyone. I
I wish that
wish
for everyone too.
everyone could experience that and more than once, you know,
Yeah.
just being in a moment. Um,
And I think that's probably why what's going on in the world for me, I don't know if it's for you too, sometimes is a little hard to take because I'm just like, we now, yes, we might all be the same ethnic ethnicity, but we have so many variances. We can still get along. I don't understand why the world can't see the beauty in each other and themselves.
Hmm. Now my logic brain is clicking in here. I think the
Okay,
majority of the people do. It's the minority that wants to keep the conflict brewing
that's true.
because
That's true.
we don't talk to the majority of people. The majority of people are not on social media. They are not on social media living their lives out loud. So I think if you just meet people individually, it's better. It's like, oh, I didn't understand that about you, but now that I know it, that's great. I like this. Let's find something we like together. Has been my experience. I still have seen some people be negative about me because I am a black middle-aged woman. And those people no longer, I don't even associate with them as far as associates. Like we can't even talk together because I don't have to. Like I feel that I've gotten to a point in my life, I don't have to be bothered with you if I don't wish to be bothered with you.
100%.
And I'm not gonna. It's always a different means to an end, and I'll have to deal with you. Um, so yeah, I think a lot of people around on this planet do see the humanity in each other, but that small percent is loud. They're very loud. Whereas the majority of the world is not loud. They're quiet. So we don't hear about them. I could be wrong. It could be me in my fantasy, but that's just how I feel people are. Which is why I love to learn about different belief systems. Like I love to learn about different religions and all of that. Because at the core of everyone that I've researched, we all want the same thing.
And what are those things?
Happiness, joy, prosperity, growth, love. That's the things I see. What about you?
I think love though is like the major one. Love and being seen.
Being
I
seen.
truly believe that
That mean
for
being,
most people is the biggest thing. They want to be loved and be seen
what does that
and
mean, Olivia?
respected.
Can you,
What do you mean? What what
but
what part?
when you say to be seen, what does that mean? So I
Um, when I say being seen is people seeing them for truly who they are, knowing them and not being, I wouldn't say afraid, but being like, okay, so for example, we've been doing this for a while now. I think I have given myself and shared a lot of stuff
Mhm,
that of being vulnerable. And I feel like the people who watch have seen me.
mhm.
Um, I don't read the comments, you do. But I feel that I make sure that I let people see who I am. Most of the time, the people who truly care about me see me. They see when I'm down, or they see when I'm struggling. They see when I'm happy. They see when I'm confused. They see that. And I think that's what being seen is about, is that people see you and value your voice. They value what you bring to the table. When pe- when people say, "What are you bringing to the table?" I'm bringing me. I'm bringing everything that I have inside of me to the table. Are you gonna eat off of my plate? And I think
Mhm.
that is what people want. They want people to know that if I came to a potluck and I brought myself to the table, you would partake in me. That's
I've
what being
never
seen was to me.
ever heard it stated like that. I like that. I like that. Okay.
So
Would you
I
do
I,
that?
I truly believe that if people, because if you go back, because we talk about the Matrix all the time, when you go back and you look at Neo and him at the club and he saw the white bunny on her shoulder, and in his dream it said follow the white rabbit, and he followed the girl and they got there, and when Morpheus gave him the choice, it was like, do you want to be just another cog in the wheel and not know anything, or do you want to be seen, do you want to know? And when he took the pill to be seen and known, that is when all of a sudden those agents came
Mm,
and they saw him.
mm,
Now, I'm not saying that people want the agents to come, but
mm,
they do when you are seen and you unplug, those agents do come and they come
mhm,
hard and fast. But they
mhm.
want to be seen, those who aren't unplugged want to be seen as human beings like everybody else, as productive members of the society. I just look at I just saw driving home from the gym, I see this older uh Caucasian gentleman. I want to say he has like some trauma um to uh his leg or back. S- So he walks sort of with like a limp, and he's homeless, and like every time I drive by when I see him I'm like, I give him water or whatever, but like I know he just wants to be seen. I know he just wants to be treated like any other human being in this world. That's why I make sure I give him water if I have it in the car, or I give him uh, a granola bar, whatever I have to eat or
What you
drink in
have.
the
Mhm.
car, to let him know that he's seen. Someone values who he is as a human being,
Yeah.
which I know you do all the time.
Not talking about me, we're talking about you. And I love that you do that.
So, yeah.
That makes my heart happy, um, doing stuff like that. So I didn't know you did that. So that's something I'm happy to know.
Yeah. So I think let's end it on a fun note.
Okay, because I'm getting down. Okay.
What is one thing that has been the funniest thing you've seen, or the thing that's brought you the most joy in the last couple of weeks? Or
Funny.
just funny, or just brought you joy in the last couple of weeks?
Hmm. Got a lot of joy a couple weeks ago. Hmm. Let me think about that. Do you have a story? And I'll think.
So, the thing that has brought me the most joy in the last couple of weeks is um, actually spending time with my granddaughter 2 weeks ago, and because it was 1 week off a week and then another week, um,
Mhm.
and it was so much fun just watching her being like imitating and mimicking things, and like she was talking to her auntie Kennedy, and they were on the phone, and they were on the phone for 2 hours, and Kennedy was making banana pudding, so she was able to look at her, and she was questioning, what are you doing, what are you doing? And then while she was doing that, when she wasn't talking to Kennedy, she was helping me, and just like watching her grow and seeing my daughter in her, seeing my son in her dad, like it's so amazing, because I know that she's loved, and I know she's gonna grow up. Well, my wish is that she's gonna grow up to take over whatever she needs to take over in this world. So that's been some real good joy. Yeah. I was gonna say seeing my friend, but I haven't seen her in a minute. So when I see my friend,
I was gonna tell you that was part of my joy. To be honest, okay, when we do our podcast, the 3 of us, when it's the 3 of
Mhm.
us, sometimes, viewers, you will notice, sometimes we can be a little, uh, uh, agitated. Sometimes we have things going on in our own personal lives, and they may come across the screen, with the
Yeah,
way we communicate, with each other. However, with all of the goings-ons and all of the backfighting and backbiting and possibly disagreeing on anything, I look forward to us recording. And like the last time the 3 of us recorded, Carmen came up with a topic. That one will be released as soon. It'll be probably before this one or maybe after this one. Who knows? It'll be released. You'll see it. So Carmen came up with the topic, and we were talking about old school things and growing up and all of that. And it was nice. It was nice. But when we finished recording, I think we recorded maybe under 2 hours. But when we finished, we stayed on, and the 3 of us just hung. Like, we hung. We made dinner. We talked to each other about nothing and everything. And that brought me, it was the after recording. It brought me so much joy. It was something that we used to do weekly that the 3 of us haven't done in a long time. And it brought me so much joy. It took me back. It was no posturing. It was just 3 girls in their house doing stuff, you know? So that's something that always brings me joy, when it can happen. And something that I newly have started, which goes with the enjoying my own company, is my bike riding. And I got to get a new bicycle seat because although I have a decent behind, it is not ample enough to sit on that seat for 9 miles. So a little pain there, but pain can be pleasure. So um, it can be. So I really enjoy that because I go by myself and just being out on the trail. Um, it's just I don't know. It's a level of peace I never thought I would have gotten from biking. Just
Mhm.
riding with the wind blowing in my face. I don't even listen to headphones or anything. I just ride. I talk to myself. I talk to the trees. Like I have one that I always say, "Hey," when I pass it. "Hey, how you doing?" I was watching something, and the lady was talking about guardian trees. How usually they're bigger trees, and the roots kind of come up
Mhm.
into your walkway.
Mhm.
Um, and that according to her, it could be true or it could be not true. I don't know. Um, the roots that are coming up, when you walk over them, the tree gets a sense of you and
Mhm.
alerts the other trees in the forest of what type of person is coming. So it's a
Yep.
tree that does that. And so when I pass it, I was like, "Hey, great job. How you doing? Thanks for not tripping me," stuff like that. But anyway, so that's something that brings me joy as far as things. I have actually found joy sitting on my couch reading my book. I restarted a series. I'm on book 3. So yeah, I've been finding joy in a lot of stuff, Olivia. So um yeah, yeah, I don't think I have any more joy stories. But I would love to have a redo of going to Nashville with my friend.
We can do that. We'll have to plan it.
Of course, you have to plan it. I mean, for me, it's a 4-hour drive. It is not a 4-hour drive for you. So
No, it's
it might be
not.
better for you to fly in. Oh, that would
Mhm.
be cool. You could fly here and we could go.
Oh, and drive.
Yeah. We could
Yeah.
stop at what's that place you love? What's that place? Bucky's.
Oh, we'd have to definitely stop at
We
Bucky's.
can
Oh
stop
my
at
God.
Buc-ee's.
Y'all
Just
just don't understand. For those of you who like Bucky's and know what Bucky's is, oh my God. Bucky's is the best. And even though I'm not supposed to have cashew nuts, getting my glazed cashew nuts and eating those all the way from I don't even know where I'm at, Tennessee, all the way back to Zion, Illinois is the best ride in the world.
yeah.
Oh, and also, but see, I would have to drive because I would want to get my Skyline chili,
I
and
cannot
that's in
do that.
Ohio.
That is in the other direction for me. So you might have to see if Carmen can come with you and just let her know we all driving. So I'm gonna do 4 hours, you do 4 hours. We all gotta drive. But yeah, I don't know anything about Skyline Chili.
Yeah, Skyline chili is the best. I need to take you there. It,
I know
yeah.
exactly what it looks like. I've seen it. I've seen it in the grocery store. So let me rephrase. So I
Okay.
don't know what the actual restaurant tastes like. I've never even had it, but I've seen it in the grocery stores when I'm home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I kind of know what it is, but not really.
Okay.
Yeah, not.
Yeah. It's so good.
I don't want to stop. I'm enjoying my time,
Wow.
and the
We
sun came
do
out.
have to stop.
No, we don't.
So,
We can have a 10-hour podcast. People don't have to watch it. It just be us. Just be us
well,
talking.
well, we are going to let you guys go. We are going to finish talking. Thank you guys very much for watching us today. We miss you, Carmen. We will see you next
Yes,
week,
definitely.
Carmen, on our JOMC,
The
C
job.
being Carmen, J being Jolanda, and O being myself, Olivia. We will see you guys next time on Beyond the First Chapter.
Wait, don't stop. Also, because we're farming, fishing, whatever the hell you call it, different types of content. If it's not too much, please like, please subscribe, and please comment whether you like a freeform style or more of a controlled style, which is what we normally do, where we have prepared questions. And then also, I wanted to know if people would be interested in us doing content of other things other than talking, like if we go to festivals and things of that nature. Would that be something you're interested in? So that's it. Let me know. I'll read the comments.
Thanks, and we will see you later. Bye.